There are things that, I mean, a lot of good policemen who know their onions will tell you that when you confront an accused person, you put him, get him to be calm. You put questions to him over days, he will tell you the truth. That is the truth. He will tell you the truth. Most people will tell you the truth because as at the time they were involved in the crime, they probably were under the influence of one thing or the other, especially armed robbery and the rest of it. But when the armed robbers, kidnappers, and the rest of it, but when they are now sober, they are now caught. That's why you hear them say that they have become born again.
I'm just a little curious, though. We've talked about the mergers of ministries. A lot of people knew it was coming. But now we have 25 ministries has been confirmed. How do you see this merger affecting the workforce? Do you think it has any bearing? If this is really about reduction in the cost of governance, do you see or do you think we could be dealing with an issue where we're dealing with cutting down on members of staff? Well,
the president says that he decided to merge the ministries because of the financial load, as it were. If you ask me, is it the salaries that are paid to people that work in ministries? Is it the salaries that are paid to ministers? Is that what drains Nigeria's funds? No, it is not. It is corruption that drains the funds. It is over invoicing that drains the funds. It is misappropriation of funds that drains the funds. It is, in fact, outright stealing that drains the funds. If a man decides that he will buy 2 cars for 200 and something million, that, of course, is corruption. That is what drains the funds in the ministries. If a man decides that he will set up a website for 78 million, that is what drains the funds. If a man decides that he would do 2 boreholes or 1 or whatever for 300 million, as it's gone viral everywhere, that is what drains the funds of government. It is not the salaries you pay to ministers. It is not the salaries you pay to workers. And moreover, you said you want to create jobs. Will it be ideal for you then to now, because you now reduce the ministries, you lay off people? I do not think that would be an ideal thing to do.
It comes back to the AGF. If you noticed, you observed that over the years we don't get to see most of these matters come to a conclusion. That means now we're talking about impunity. No one is deterred from going ahead to commit such crimes. What can he do? Because he must be strong-willed to effect the laws. They say, lawyers like yourself, they've come up to say, we don't have, it's not a case of insufficient laws. We have it there in the books. How can he effect some of these to the extent that we can see a conclusion, we can see closures, and we can get them behind bars for those that are guilty?
One of the things I think should be done quickly by the Attorney General is to merge the ICPC and EFCC because they duplicate efforts, if you ask me. I'm not aware of any case that ICPC has concluded in the courts. That is where I work. So I know, I should know. EFCC and ICPC, they are duplicating efforts. That should be done quickly.
So if you say that, 2 agencies of government, you've given an instance now, are duplicating efforts, would you then say that when we merge them, we should still keep all the manpower that, these 2 ministries did have?
You can keep the manpower. For instance, most of the manpower for EFCC are from the police. And I'm sure also that most of the manpower for ICPC are also from the police. So they can go back to wherever they came from. And they will keep their jobs. Because what you have is that when you have an Attorney General who now knows, I have EFCC to pursue financial crimes. Because basically, corruption, whatever name you call it, is a financial crime. That is what you have on our hands. And instead of you to have a situation where it is only the Yahoo boys, as they are called, that are always prosecuted to conclusion and sent to jail, but you don't see government officials.
But you read them in the papers. You see petitions and allegations. How come that office doesn't follow you through and through, but the small fries and individuals that don't even make the headlines are the ones that you get to see a closure.
That is what the Attorney General should do. The Attorney General should make sure that people are not just accused, with highfalutin figures. Oh, 20 billion, 40 billion, whatever billion. And tomorrow you see them on the streets, nothing happens. Somehow a political situation is found to those things. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Then you start to wonder whether they actually committed the offense in the first place. The Attorney General needs to put his foot down. They need to streamline, empower EFCC. ICPC should go.
How can he help? Sorry to cut in there. How can he help with allegations, for instance, against some judges, against people who sit in matters of law?
For me, if you have somebody, for instance, I think there is 1 or 2 people now being accused. I think the CCT chairman and the rest of it. You see, what should be done is that when you're accused, you should be made to step down. That is what FIFA is doing. There are accusations against Blatter.
But in that case, we know that if you step down, you can come back to your seat.
Yeah, but wait, let me finish. There were accusations against Adamu, our own Adamu. He had to go so that they could investigate and possibly try you. If there are accusations, solid, substantial accusation against people in power, those people should be made to step down, to step aside, as it were. Put them on suspension if you want to use that word. Let the people be thoroughly investigated. After all, most of these people we're talking about are not covered, are not protected by Section 308 of the Constitution. So what is the whole thing about wanting to make sure that nothing happens to them? No.
Does it mean that we are okay with the length of investigation in this country?
You see, the police can do more. The EFCC can do more. That's why I was talking about empowering them. You need to empower them to be able to investigate, to be able to get to the root of the matter. So by the time EFCC tells you, we are arraigning XYZ in court, they have loads and loads of evidence against the person. But this situation where you first go to the press, oh, the man has stolen $6 billion. There's a minister that's been accused of having taken $6 billion. Somebody came on air, a governor of a state came on air and made so much noise about it. What has happened? Not even in that climb in Britain, if there is any such evidence, I'm sure they will follow you through.
Then this other aspect, information, engaging with the people, because no matter how good your plan or execution is, if the people don't know about it, there's going to be a challenge. In terms of the policies of government, for instance, all of those fiscal and monetary policies that we've seen where lots of commentary coming through from the people, what would you like to see them do differently this time, engaging with the people?
I think that the president, I don't know if you watch the film The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, where there's this actor, Clint Eastwood, where this man held a gun and was saying so many things. He was just talking, I will shoot you, I will do this, I will do this. And the man came and just shot at him and said, if you want to shoot, shoot, don't talk. What I want to advise the president to do is if he wants to shoot, he should shoot. All this idea of you go to France or go to Germany or whatever, and you make policy statements concerning the economy. Oh, I'm going to fight corruption. Oh, these people were corrupt. I'm going to probe this. I'm going to do that. I think it's about time we started doing something and do less talking. If you must talk, try to let the Nigerian people know about your programs and policies, monetary policies, whatever, and the rest of it. Let them know. That is good enough. But if you must fight corruption, if you must do things that has to do with what the Attorney General should do, for God's sake, do it and stop talking.
All right, Mr. Sahon, thank you very much indeed for your time today.
Thank you very much for inviting.
Okay, well, that's the